legends! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to try and fill one of my old sketchbooks with ugly art. Now I don't know if you have been watching me over on Instagram, actually even my YouTube shorts. I have been trying to fill all my old sketchbooks with ugly art. Now this sketchbook, it's actually not as nearly full as I thought it was going to be, but there's probably 15 spreads or so. So I thought I'd bring you guys along for the journey as we try and fill this up with ugly art. Now I'm gonna just first of all, hold your horses. Ugly art, what do I mean by that? So I am the founder, that's right, I'm calling myself the founder of the ugly art movement, my chapter. I don't know, someone else probably does anyway. But I am leading the charge of the ugly art movement. The ugly art movement does not mean that the work that we create actually is ugly at the end. Sometimes we're surprised and it looks amazing. But the whole idea of ugly art is a mindset that you take into the creating process. So we use a sketchbook. And the pressure is off. There is no pressure to make something beautiful or saleable or appealing to anyone. We don't even have to share it. It's a great practice for art as therapy, to make you feel good, to have a play, have an explore. You might discover your art style. And you end up feeling really great, because even if it does turn out to be ugly and really dodgy, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The other thing is with the ugly art movement, what's ugly for one is not always ugly for someone else. Just remember that. It's like music. I did this little speech at my communication meeting at my school this week. I said I likened it to music because people understand that most people have bought a CD, a cassette, an album. How many people have Spotify these days? Lots of people have listened to music all their life, so they understand that analogy. I love Bruno Mars. I think he's so talented. I have been to his concert and he is an amazing entertainer. I would pay money to go back and see him again, no worries. Would you catch me dead listening to Mozart in my lounge room? No way! Does it mean that either one of them are not great musicians or fantastic composers? No, they're brilliant in their own right. And it's the same with art. Not everyone's gonna love your art all the time, and that's okay. What somebody thinks is ugly, someone else loves. Somebody's trash is another person's treasure. It's that saying come to life. So let's go. We're gonna fill our sketchbook today, or over the next few days, because I'm not going to be able to do it in one day, with ugly art. And I cannot wait. This is a sketchbook I made myself. I bound it myself with Coptic stitch. In it is just cartridge paper. I originally made a trio of journals to take overseas with me a couple of years ago now. And this one was meant to be, as you can see, animals and objects, because I was getting right into illustrating and that was recommended to me. Have one book for animals and objects, one for people, one for landscapes and places. And of course, naturally, I completely ignored it and I just pick up whatever one I can find. So I'm trying to fill those 3 sketchbooks because they've all got just cartridge paper. Don't get me wrong, that does not stop me from using acrylic paint in it. I use it all. Watercolor, gouache. I've even got a couple of pages in here that are Sophie McPike calls it pre-blobbinated. Basically, if I'm mixing colors or playing around with colors and I've still got some paint on my brush, I'll open up a sketchbook and just clean it off in there, just so that I'm not putting heaps of paint into the waterways. I've got heaps of pages like this as well, so that'll be just a matter of me doing some drawing on. But then I've also got a heap of pages at the end. That's what I mean. I think I've got about 15 spreads where they're just blank. There's a couple of painting techniques I want to try, because I've been thinking about doing some larger paintings. So we'll have to see how that goes. Yeah. I'll kind of put up here some of those reels of and shorts of some of the spreads I've done in the past. Ooh, just playing just exploring. Ooh. Do you like that one? Do you like that? I love this one. This is cool. So I'm actually gonna, we're gonna explore a heap of different ugly techniques today, a heap of different mediums, and we're just gonna play and explore and have a lot of fun. That's cool. So I thought I'd just start with my first blank page. You can see I've done some. Let's keep going with this whole blank contour-ness. I've got a couple of supplies here, but I'm just gonna be kind of randomly grabbing some stuff as I go, and we're gonna have some fun, have a bit of a play. I've got some of the art supplies that so I've got some neo art pastels. I've got some I think this one is actually a Neocolor 1. I'm trying to use them up because I like Neocolor 2s better, but these Neo Arts I really love too, so I'm going to use them. I've got that one, I've got an Inktense here, I've got some watercolor, I've got some soft pastels, but I don't know if I'll use them. I have stacks of charcoal. I always have charcoal around me. I just have some pens and textures, and I'll go grab things as I think I need them. I do have a whole tin of oil pastels, but I think they're inside at my inside making desk. So I'm gonna just use some dry media, and I'm gonna do some drawing. Any photos that are mine that I use, I will share them with you to draw with me. Not all of them will be though, so I apologize. Some of them you'll miss. All right, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna start with blind contour drawing because I really love that. It's a great strategy for warming up, and it's a great strategy for loosening up with zero worry about how it looks. And I thought I would start with yellow. Oh, went off the page, because I can go over it with other colors. I'm actually going to keep the same one, but I'm going to use my indigo. I love that. I love how that looks. So here we go. I've got another double page. I actually think I'm getting enough for this page. Of course, I'm going to have to pause and dry in between and stuff, but I think I'm actually going to use some acrylic paints. I've got these that I've been wanting to use up, so let's... have a little look at the pictures I did for this. I'm finally finished. This sketchbook is now full, so I'll have to do a full sketchbook flip through very soon. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm literally only going to show you the pictures I did for the fill the sketchbook project. So here, it's a fish I found. Did a couple of blind contour drawings. This was the very first one I did. It is a painting. I literally only used 2 colors. I used this peachy color and this teal, and then I put the a little bit of my ink tints over the top, added a bit of water. Why not? Of course, naturally, most of these I used paint in, so I had to let them dry, which really stretched out the whole thing. I did this one, which was ink with a dip pen. And then a bit of oil pastel. No, I just put green around because why not? That wasn't from this. That's from something else. Did these with my ink tints over this pre-painted page. And I added a bit of, I want to say that's oil pastel, but I actually think it's the Neo art, which I'm really enjoying. And that was just the ink tints on its own. I didn't do this one this time. But I did these little oil pastel, possibly Neo art drawings. The oil pastels and Neo arts go really nicely together, I find. I actually really like the Neo arts. Is ink tints with some Neo art. I unfortunately forgot to put a piece of paper in to stop it smushing. So if you don't activate the ink tints, it will smush together. It's only when it's had water added to it that it becomes permanent, so it's very smushable. I'm going to go through and I'm going to add all of the paper back in that I originally had in it. Yeah, I kind of, you'll see as I go through, I kind of use the same pictures over and over again. So this lorikeet flying into land, I love it. It's one of my favorites. So I just kind of decided to go with it, paint it a few times. I'm trying to get a bit better at acrylic painting and trying to work out how that fits with my style. So I kind of did some other ones of that. This one was the ink tints, and then I added gouache to it. Yes, gouache. No, I think this was, yeah, I think it was gouache, both of them, of my dog. So look, I really love these octopus drawings I did. I literally grabbed just the ones I had on my, so I had this peachy color, the Neo art, what other color was there? The pink, this pink from Holbein, and this Neo color one in, I think it's sky blue. And they just, that color combo just made such really cool drawings. So I just kind of found all of these reference photos of octopuses and I just went a little bit bonkers. Really, here's the other 2 I did. And it's interesting how the background kind of changes it too. I love this one, that's cool. They look amazing, they look really cool. I'm thoroughly enjoyed those ones. And again, these were just more octopuses that I did with, I think that was with the glass dip pen, that one, and that was with a Posca pen. Just because the background was already messy, so I was like, let's just put some mess down on it. Why not? Here's another one of those, that lorikeet coming into land, trying to practice using a limited color palette. So that was this opera, the emerald green, and then I think just light yellow. Was it light yellow? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was deep yellow. I'm not sure what yellow I used. That doesn't look like, those both don't look right. I'm not sure what yellow I used here. But anyway, there's a yellow there. I should have probably written it down. So yeah, so again, went crazy. Then I did, it's either the Neo art or the ink tints over the top. Oh no, it might have been this pencil. So this pencil's like a waterproof. It's like it's an oil kind of pencil, and it kind of goes over everything. So I think it was that, because it looks black to me, that outline. And then this was a single reference picture of 2 drafts that I took, so I probably shared it with you if I could find the actual digital copy. They're both actually in the same picture, but I just went a bit bonkers, and then like the bird, I literally just could not stop drawing them. This was with a dip pen and some Liquitex ink. I did this background just with some leftover paint from the previous one, from this one, as you do. And then I just kept going. Oh, so this one here was a blind contour drawing of an octopus that I did 1, 2, 3 times. I just changed the color. So this one was the oil pastel, pink oil pastel, and then I used the indigo neo art, and then I used the light malachite green. I did that one. I just like how it looks. You wouldn't even know they're octopuses if you looked, but I really liked how they turned out. These were the 2 giraffes again. Like I said, I went crazy. I think I did use a Posca pen to do a blind corn drawing, and then I just kind of filled it in with, because I was lost a little bit with the colourful background, so I used this lighter colour, this peachy colour oil pastel, just to kind of fill it in to try and bring them a little bit more forward. It's just mucking around, as you do. And then this was the last one. I decided to do some left-handed drawing because I hadn't done any of that. I'd done a lot of blind contour. And yeah, again, those 2 drafts. I like this guy better than this one, but they look cool. So that was with, again, the same colours. I kind of had the same ones on my desk. I had the neo art that I drew the outlines, and then this one was this pink Holbein oil pastel, and then this one was this peachy and the light malachite green again. I really love these neo arts. I've only got 3 colours of them. This one's purplish red, so I've got this purplish red. Got the indigo. This light malachite green. And yellow. Now I didn't use this light purplish red much because I'm trying to use through all my old really cheap pastels, like oil pastels, so I was using this one more than the neo art. But those are the 4 that I got actually, and it makes such a nice color palette, especially because I've got lights and darks, so they've got some really good tone range there. Kind of, you got my dark mid and then lights over here, so it's actually really nice tonal range, that color palette. Steal it, go for it. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the flip through, although it's not going to be my next video because I've already got it planned out ready to go. I'm not sure when that'll be, so stay tuned. I'll let you know. If you want to find out first what's coming up or when I drop a video, subscribe, hit the bell, but also subscribe to my newsletter. The link is down in the description. I let them know everything first. And actually, when I do my next drawing drop, they're actually going to get the first access for 24 hours before anyone else does, which is very exciting. So, do it. Get stuck into it. You'll love it. Thanks for watching. Legends!